Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be doing 15 minutes mindfulness of breath. We're going to be using our breath as an anchor for our very busy mind. Now, we are practicing to befriend our mind, recognizing that our mind will be busy. The mind is so busy. There's nothing wrong. This is very common. And during this time together, I want to invite you to be kind. When you notice your mind wandering, and it will, gently bring it back to the breath. And you do it over and over and over again for the next 15 minutes. All right, let's do this. Finding a comfortable seated position. Make sure you're comfortable. I'm in a cross-legged position because I'm comfortable that way, but I encourage you to sit in a chair if that's more comfortable. Closing the eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. If not, you can gaze down, soften the gaze, bringing the awareness to the breath. Paying attention to the breath as if it's the first time the breath is being noticed. Noticing where the breath is felt the most, where in the body the breath is felt the most, and just noticing. Perhaps it's in the entry point of the nares. Maybe it's the throat. Perhaps it's the chest or the belly. There's no right or wrong, just noticing where the breath is felt the most. Gently bringing the mind back to the breath if it wanders. It's okay, it's going to happen. Just kindly bringing the awareness back to the breath. Noticing the pathway of the breath from the beginning of the inhale, following the pathway of the breath all the way through the completion of the exhale. For the next few breathing cycles, paying attention to the pathway of the breath. Where is the mind now? If the mind has wandered, gently bringing it back to the breath. Using the breath as an anchor, anchoring the mind to the breath. Noticing the sound of the breath or lack of sound of the breath. Just listening, sensing the sound or lack of sound of the breath. Paying attention to the breath. There's no need to manipulate the breath. The breath happens naturally. Just paying attention and noticing the breath. Noticing when the mind wanders. Where does it go? Does it go to planning the future? Does it go to rehashing the past? Just noticing. Gently bringing the mind back to the breath. Paying attention to where the inhale ends and the transition to where the exhale begins. Next few breathings, seeing if you can notice where the inhale ends and where the exhale begins. Where is the mind now? Gently bringing it back to the breath if the mind has wandered. Using this practice to be gentle and kind. Just bringing the mind back. We like to say the mind produces thoughts the same way the mouth produces saliva. Nothing to take personal. Just practicing bringing the awareness back to the breath. Where is the mind now? Gently bringing it back to the breath if it has wandered. For the next full minute, in silence, keeping the awareness to the breath. Knowing that if any time the mind wanders, and it probably will, gently bringing it back to the breath. There'll be silence for the next minute while practicing keeping the awareness with the breath. Where is the mind now? Gently bringing it back to the breath. Sensing the pathway of the breath from the initiation of the inhale all the way through the completion of the exhale. Witnessing the pathway of the breath. Where is the mind now? Gently bringing it back to the breath if the mind has wandered. Using the breath as an anchor, anchoring the mind to the breath. Slowly shifting the awareness to the hands. Just noticing the hands, sensing the hands, sensing any temperature or lack of temperature in the hands. Slowly extending the fingers in the hands, using the movement of the hands to bring the awareness back into the room. Bringing the palms together, rubbing the palms together. Slowly opening the eyes if they were closed. Bringing the awareness back to the room. Thank you so much for joining me for Mindfulness of Breath. I always love hearing your experiences and your feedback. I am currently in training, and I welcome and appreciate all feedback. I really hope that paying focused attention to the present moment serves you well. I am so amazed at all of the benefits that have come from paying focused attention to the present moment. Thank you again for joining me. Please share this out with your network. Thank you. Have a great day.